Hey, what's going on, my hungry friends? Today, out here in Boise, Idaho, we're gonna be making the staple or mecca of the foods of all foods. We're gonna be making finger steaks. It's gonna be delicious, it's gonna be savory, it's gonna be smoky. Let's make it. Okay, so today, as we indicated, we are making finger steaks. Now, you can use different cuts of beef for this. You can use ribeye, you can use tri-tip or whatever. But today, we're going to be using a special cut from Snake River Farms. Okay, these are known as flank steak, and these are Wagyu cut. And if you look, or I'm sorry, Wagyu flavor. But when you take a look at this, you can take a look at all the marbling here as the striations are going across the meat, okay? And this is what we want. And the purpose of this video is to ensure that we're using good quality beef, okay? So what we're gonna do is, first step is we're gonna clean the beef up. We're going to remove any of the excess fat or any unwarranted anomalies that we don't want in our finger steaks, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one at a time, and we're gonna start cutting off the beef. Obviously, there's not a lot of fat in this, but we're going to start removing it, okay? Okay, so you're just going to take your knife and you're just going to go right underneath it. And some people are asking what type I use when we're cutting fat. I like to use Dexter. It's pointy, it's sharp, and I can get into really the small crevices into the beef that I cut, okay? So if you're taking a look at it, it's already looking good. Got some undesirables there. Maybe get some of the silver skin. Just a little bit more. And what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over as well. Make sure there's nothing protruding outward from the fat. There's maybe a little bit of silver skin here. And we're going to remove that as well. Okay, so that looks pretty good. We're going to work on the next piece, just so that way I'm not going to bore you, and go ahead and stand by for that, and we're going to get rock and run for the next step, okay? Okay, so the next step after we took any of the undesirables off our flank steak is we have to actually season our meat this time. And the meat, what we're going to be using is Killer Hogs AP seasoning. But before we're going to be applying this, we're going to be adding in our binder. And today we're going to be using white truffle, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our beef and we're going to flatten it out, sprinkle a little bit of the white truffle oil, and we are going to add in our Killer Hogs AP seasoning. And for those that don't know what that is, our all-purpose seasoning is nothing but more than salt, pepper, and garlic, okay? So we're going to rub our oil in. And we're going to lightly apply the AP seasoning. You can go a little bit generous, as beef can take in some of that punch of the seasoning, okay? So this is about as much as I want to add to it, okay? And let's go ahead and get it onto the second piece. Okay, we're going to flip it over and do the same for the other side. Okay, and now that we flipped it over, we're going to add in to the back side our white truffle oil. And we're going to smooth it out, make sure it's all over the beef. And the reason why we do this is because we want our AP seasoning to stick to the fat, okay? But, I mean, look how beautiful it is. Look at the texture of the fat that's in there, okay? Now you can pat it in like this. Make sure you don't rub it in. You want to pat it in, okay? All right. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have our smoker turned on to about 250 degrees or so, and we're gonna let this sit for about 10 minutes or so, so that way our smoker can get up to temperature, okay? Stay tuned. All right, so we now have our grill up to 250 degrees, and we're just going to place it on our grill so we can get nice even heating. Today we're going to be using apple and mesquite wood, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to put this on our grill, leave it there for about 45 minutes to an hour, and we're going to bring this up to temp, the meat temp now, to right around rare, maybe about 120, 115 degrees, and then we're going to show you the next step. Okay. Okay, so now that our flank steaks have been in the smoker for about 45 minutes or so, we're going to check the temps real quick, and we want to sure we're not overdoing it. But look at this. Unbelievable, right? Let's go and take a look at the temp. Oh, you see that in here? Oh, that's right over the fire, that's why. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and pull this off. This is exactly what we wanted. We just wanted just enough smoke, okay?
Okay.
Okay, boom. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take this off the grill, and we're going to go ahead and cut this up, and we'll start the next process. Okay, so now that we had pulled our meat out of the smoker, we need to combine our sauces before we go on to the next step. So I'm going to use Hogs vinegar sauce, about a cup or so. Let's go a third cup. That's all I have left anyway. And we are going to mirror that with some Hogs the barbecue sauce. Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, so we're going to give this a little twirl. And we're going to start on the last process of the finger steaks. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our finger steaks and we're going to cut it into about an inch. Kind of like a finger, right? A little bit bigger. Okay, look at that. It's actually coming out rare. And while you're cutting these, ensure that you're cutting against the grain. Okay, so the grain runs this way. We're going to go this way with it. Okay, so now that we had pulled our flank steaks out of the smoker, we cut them up into 1/4 inch size, as you can see. Okay, so it looks something like that. And what we're going to do next to finish off the cooking process, we're going to dredge it and put some panko breadcrumbs, okay? So just take a little bit of egg wash, right? Shake it off. And then you want to cover it with your panko. If I hadn't showed you earlier, I just took panko breadcrumbs, some Parmigiano Reggiano, and I also added a little bit of parsley, some salt and pepper, and we are ready to start frying these puppies up. Okay. Let's get a couple in here. Okay. So if you see the consistency of the egg wash, looks like that, and it's just enough to coat. That's it. Okay, ensure that you dangle the eggs off of it. Apply it into the breadcrumbs, push it down. Okay. Okay, now that we had smoked our flank steak, we had put our rubs on it, we also added our crumbs. Let's go ahead and put it in the smoker, okay? And we're gonna put it and an oil fryer that's running at 350 degrees temperature. And these are going to go on there maybe 2, maybe 3 minutes tops. You also don't want to overcrowd it because it will drop the temp a little bit. And we want even cooking. Okay, let's get one more in here. Okay, so let's let that fry for about 2 minutes. We're going to plate it, and then we are going to eat. Remember that backyard privilege? We have it. Stay tuned. Okay, so our finger steaks have been in the oil fryer for about a minute or so. We're going to go ahead and pull it off. Look at that. Okay, now that we took our flank steak out of the fries, let's go ahead and cut them up. If you can hear that crunch, that means we did really well. Okay, and after we cut these up, we're going to go ahead and plate them. I mean, look at this. Amazing, right? It's off the grill and through the fryer, and let me tell you, boy, this smells good. Okay, so we're gonna do, this is what we call backyard bistro privilege, and we're gonna take a taste of it. You get the crunch for sure. You're getting all the flavors. You're definitely getting that smoky flavor from the mesquite and the applewood. More importantly, this is medium well or so, and a lot of the flavors are giving me a punch right to the back of my throat, and this is exactly what we wanted. So I can't let this get away. But listen, folks, I want you to go home if you're not already there, and I want you to try these. I promise that you will not be disappointed. So until next time, my friends, be good, be safe, and thank you from Hearty Comfort Meals. Have a good one.